So, I want it to be fancy today, guys. Let's see if I can do it. That's all I wanted to have up because I wanted you guys to see that. Just because it's been making me so happy all day long because I'm so excited. Okay, I just got a notification. I was like, what is that? So, anywho, today is You Ask, I Answer. It is Q&A. We might start doing these monthly. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. But, hi. You know what? I haven't checked in with you in a couple of Fridays. We need a virtual tap you on your shoulder and see how things are going. But anywho, today is You Ask, I Answer. Q&A. So, bring all questions. Those of you who've been following for a while, you've probably seen the Plan to Win Incubator. It starts next Monday. I'm super excited about this. And I am super excited to connect with all, so far, ladies that have joined and help them create their personalized plan to win, as well as like that thing that they've been wanting to birth for a minute now. And so I'm excited to start that on Monday. So if you have questions about that, now's the time to ask because the doors close on Sunday. But yeah, any other questions? Multi-passionate questions, clarity questions, purpose question. What other questions do I normally get? I get a lot of tech questions too, like how-to type questions. So yeah, any and all, almost all, because I know some of my friends come on here and they be like, oh, let's ask the most random questions just to see if she turns red or not. So yeah. This is You Ask, I Answer. So any and all questions. My top question that I normally get from multi-passionates is, how do I know what to start with first? And in all honesty, the answer lies in your plan. Like if you have a plan to win, you will know where to start. Like literally, it'll just make sense. It'll slap you in your face. And you'll be like, oh, now granted, you could simultaneously start with multiple things sometimes, but creating your plan to win is what highlights whether or not you need multiple things or you need just one thing. What do I mean by that? Basically, let's say my multi-passionates, you want to do a book, you want to do a podcast, and you also want to be a speaker, right? Like on stages. And so you're going through your plan to win, you're creating it, and you see, oh, I need a graphic designer because me and Canva are friends, but we're not friends like that. And normally, as a multi-passionate, or anybody actually, you think in silos, or you think in just this one lane. You're focused on this thing, and then this thing, and then this thing, right? And so if you had your plan to win curated, you would see that you actually need a graphic designer for all three of the things that you're looking to do. So with that being said, you could pitch a graphic designer for like a bulk rate, and or you also know all the things that you would need this graphic designer to do for your book, for speaking, as well as for your podcast. And so it allows you to ask more specific questions to make sure that you're getting the right graphic designer. That's number one, because you want to be like, do you have any experience in podcast covers? Do you have any experience in books? And do you have any experience in creating like a media kit or things of that nature? And so having your plan to win highlights, I need just one graphic designer if at all possible, but for the three different things that I'm working on. And that allows you to ask better questions to make sure you're hiring the right people. It also helps you save time and money. How does it help you save money, you ask? Because instead of working with your graphic designer just on your book and then being like, okay, now I'm ready to start my podcast, and then tell them, okay, I'm ready to start a podcast, you would be quoted for 3 individual prices for the 3 individual things that you were working on in this example. Whereas if you knew in advance about the 3 different projects that you wanted to work on, you literally could negotiate a discounted rate for multiple projects at one time. Because most freelancers want to know that the money's coming in. For any business owner, we want to know that the money's coming in, right? And so with this graphic designer that's a freelancer, if they know, okay, I'm currently working with her on this one project, but she already has 2 more in the fold and she's already clear on what her plan is for those things, I can bank and or negotiate this bulk rate to make sure that I'm getting the money, right? So knowing your plan to win allows you to know the things that you need in advance so you can ask the right questions when hiring, for one. You can save time and money. And 3, you also know in advance, like, okay, I want to be a speaker, I want to write a book, and I want to start a podcast. You know you don't have the capacity to actually put in the effort to complete the book right now. So you might want to write the book before you actually hire a graphic designer, right? So that whittles that one out. And for you guys just joining, hi. One of the main questions that I get is, as a multi-passionate, where do I start? And so I'm giving this high-level example of creating your plan to win, and it really like slaps you in the face as to which one to start on. And so you know you want to write a book. The book's not going to be finished anytime soon. And so we don't want the graphic designer working on the book. We can write the book and then we'll give them to work on that later once we're done, right? So you can simultaneously write your book. You can simultaneously start to invite people to your podcast as guests. Hi. But the quickest, fastest kind of way may be to get you on stages and speaking. So you might need your media kit. If those are the 3 things that you want to focus on. So looking at it from your plan to win, you see, I need to start on a media kit. And or if you said, you know what, no, it's easier for me to start with my podcast. I'm going to do solo episodes only. I need to start with my podcast cover art. So being a multi-passionate, you can do all the things. I promise you can. However, there is a systematic way that makes sense that'll save you time and money. And we all want to save time and money. And that's what I figured out. That's why I created the Plan to Win method. You guys can get the workbook if you would like. Like I said earlier, the incubator starts on Monday. Monday. Oh my God. August is already here. So it starts on Monday. And in the Plan to Win incubator, we actually go through the ABCs to clarity, the who, and the how. And once you know the how, then we actually do the how. Like, we're actually going to do this while you're in the program. Not like you're in the program, you find out all the things, and then the program's over, and then you go do the work by yourself. No. Because community is the best way to stay in continuous clarity. And most people are like, they kind of treat it like a common cold or the doctor's office. It's like, okay, I'm clear. I'm going to go over here by myself and I'm going to do the work. And I'll come back when I need a little bit more clarity because I'm confused again. When in all actuality, if you stayed in community, you would have continuous clarity. Because your community is going to provide you with feedback, resources, questions. They're going to question you. If they're of like-hearted mind individuals, they're going to be like, that don't make no sense. And why are we doing this, right? And so that's why I have the Clarity Circle. That's for business owners that know their who and their what and their how. And so they stay in community for continuous clarity. We meet twice a month. But you get the resources, you get accountability, and you get support. So that answers one of my other top questions that I get is like, how do I stay in clarity? Like, I'm doing the work. You say clarity's in the doing. It is. But community is the key to continuous clarity as well. Okay? Because you can do the work and you'll get more clear. But the clearer you get, you tend to have situational fog, is what I call it. It's like taking a flight, right? You're on your way on vacation. You can see the ground, and all of a sudden, all you see are clouds. You're still on the same journey. You're headed towards the same goal, but you don't see the ground anymore. You can't make out what's under you, above you, or around you. That is situational fog. You're technically still clear, but you've gotten so clear that you're confusing yourself. But you will land and you'll see the ground again, and you'll end up in your vacation spot that you wanted to be in the first place. But it's a journey. It takes time. So you guys have heard me say clarity is the destination. Focus is your journey. Yeah, that's right. And so how focused you are depicts on how fast you get to your destination, which is clarity. And staying in community will ensure that you remain focused. So I'm gonna shut up. I got some more people joining in. How y'all doing? How y'all mama in them? So today is You Ask, I Answer. So you can either say you want to join in live and we can talk it out. You can put your questions in the Q&A. But yeah, you ask, I answer. All things multi-passionate, clarity, any questions up for grabs today. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. What is going on? You guys are quiet. Let's see. Let me go to the chat really quickly. Hey. I've been seeing your TikToks, ma'am. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. And congratulations on this Get My Life Together fitness journey. I've been watching. No questions? You guys are quiet. Y'all got me, and y'all can ask any question. And y'all's quiet today. Okay. So we talked about, as a multi-passionate, where to start. We've talked about what is the secret sauce to continuous clarity, which we said was community. To stay in continuous clarity. Oh no. To stay in continuous clarity is to be in community. What did you miss? Well, I've basically gave a long scenario or example on how your plan to win helps you save time and money, right? We talked about, as a multi-passionate, where to start and how do you know where to start. We also talked about how do you stay in continuous clarity, because you guys have heard me say time and time again that clarity's in the doing, and you're like, I'm doing all the things, but I'm still not that clear. And so then we talked about situational fog, which is like taking flight. You see the ground and all of a sudden you don't. You don't know what's under you, beside you, or around you as you're in the sky, but you're still headed towards the same destination. You just don't know what's under you, right? And that's situational fog, because the clearer you get, sometimes we actually tend to get confused. We're really not, but we are. Because it's like, but I just got clear and I thought that was so awesome. But now this makes sense. And you feel like you're pivoting, right? But you're really not. It's situational fog. You're still on the same journey, right? So clarity is the destination. Focus is the journey. And how focused you are depicts how fast you get to your destination, which is clarity. And staying in community helps you do that. Hey, boo, hey. How you doing? And so that's all you missed. We were just talking my top questions that I'm normally asked. And today is You Ask, I Answer. And so other than that, people been real quiet. I'm like, first of all, normally when I do a live, people are asking random questions. I won't call no names because they're not on here today. But yeah, this is, if you guys are in Georgia or Atlanta area, you've heard Free Game Fridays. It's not Friday, but it's Free Game Friday technically. So any questions up for grabs and I will answer. How you doing, Bree? What you doing today? You're doing the most. Listen, doing the most is always a good thing to me, okay? I tell people all the time I will wear glitter every day if I could. And if you can do the most, why not? And as a multi-passionate, I am an advocate for doing all the things until all the things get in the way of purpose. So that we don't do. But we can do all the things. I saw you were in Monaco and shopping. Hi, Dion. And there's somebody else on here. I'm getting a... You're getting on your own nerves. That is good to know. Listen, I get sick of me, and that is how I got to this point. I got sick of me. I got sick of me being in my own way. I got sick of me being the reason why I'm in the same spot every single year. So if you considering the program, girl, come on, come on. You got lots of questions. Let's see. I have a question in here. Let's see. How do I do this? There we go. As a multi-passionate, what is the best way to set up my schedule? Blocking is hard. That is a good question. So, in all transparency, I don't do blocking. So the way my planner is even set up, guys, is it doesn't even have time blocks on it. It doesn't, because, let's see if I can show you this without knocking everything down. Because I don't live by like a time block unless it's an actual appointment. So basically I do must do's and should do's. Can y'all really, there we go. I do must do's and should do's for my personal and my professional, right? So like none of us are one dimensional. Our lives doesn't work that way. And focusing just solely on work or solely on your personal, you have to mix it together. And so, that's what I do to actually get the things done. It's hard to like narrow things down to the top 3 must do and for your personal and your professional, and the top 3 should do's for your personal and professional, because your to-do list grows like every day. I don't know about you, but mine does. It multiplies like every second. And so for me to reach my goals, I just have my must do's and my should do's, and I feel accomplished. But now, your girl is a checklist person, right? And so the other side of the planner is the notes. So let's see. You have your day, your must do, should do, and then you have the note section right across from that. So in my note section, that's where I'm going to write, like if I have like real appointments and the times, as well as I do checklist over there. So like, let's say it's not a must do or should do. Let's see if I can show you guys an example. But if I do it, it goes on the checklist to make me feel accomplished, okay? It is going on there. And also, at the end of every week, I plan for the next week, right? So, my goal, the status, the action that I actually took this current week, and the actions I need to take the next week, and any notes, right? So, those actions that I need, those are my must-dos and my should-dos. And so that's how I do it. I try to stick to like blocking recording for podcasts to like 2 to 3 days to give people options so I can get the people that I want, right? But yeah, I personally don't do time blocks. It doesn't work for me, which is why I wasted a bunch of planners in the past, because they all had the time. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm going to do it when I get to it, right? Because I also had the 9 to 5 and the 5 to 9. So if I could fit some stuff in during the 9 to 5, I did. And so, yeah, that's how it works. For me personally, hopefully that answered your question. Let's see what else is in here. Okay, similar to the last question, do you separate your days based on your passions, or just every day it could be anything? Technically, every day it could be anything. But let me tell you why I paused. So in the, you guys heard me mention earlier about the Plan to Win workbook, because the planner sold out. Sorry, we're trying to get everything together so we can get the 2023 out to you guys. But for 2022, it is sold out, right? So let's see here. The workbook is actually in the beginning of the planner. So that's why I said the workbook is downloadable if you guys want to grab that. But this is the kicker. The workbook takes you through your wins. What I need, who I need, and why I need it. That's what WIN stands for. It's an acronym. Who I need, what I need, why I need it, right? And so once you break that down, most of us, most visionaries and multi-passionates, right? We have these huge, audacious goals, and we have more than one of them. And so what we do is we have this dream, this idea. We set a SMART goal, because that's what we've been taught, right? And then we execute. We go into go mode. It's like, I'm on it. I know what I'm going to do. I said I'm going to do this by this date, by this time. But what we skip is the plan, y'all. We don't have a plan. We just jump. It's like dream, SMART goal, execute. And that's, we skip a bunch of steps, okay? And so once you know your wins, right, then we go and we break them down to steps. And y'all know you're like, duh. But then we break them from steps. Let's see if you guys can see this. We break them from steps to task. How many of you do that? Like, seriously, honestly. I know I didn't used to. I literally would have an idea, a dream, a vision. And I'd be like, okay, this is the SMART goal. We're going to do it by here, by this date, by this time. And I went to work. And now, granted, I made some stuff pop. So for me, I thought that was it. But when I actually did the plan to win, and I was like, okay, I'm going to make a salad. If I just stop with the step of make the salad, pull everything out the refrigerator, I'm dumping a whole cucumber, 500 cherry tomatoes. Like, no, you need to slice the cucumber. That's a task underneath the step of make salad, right? And so we can have a bunch of tasks that go just to step one of 5 steps that actually reach the goal. And so we have to break it all the way down. Why do I stress this? Because once you actually break your wins down into steps, down into task, then you know what you need to do, right? And you'll know what days you need to do it on, because you know when you need to do it by. Because we set that SMART goal, right? Even though I'm a proponent for clear goals, right? So once you do that and you have your task, you can list your task. Okay, I know I need to get this done by the end of quarter 1. What task do I need to get done week 1, 2, and 3 of the first month? Weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the second month, right? And then you transfer those quarter into your days or into your weeks, right? So that's a really long answer to say, yeah, it can be whenever, because you know, as long as I do it, these 3 things in week 1 of month 1 of quarter 1, by the end of the first quarter, my goal will be reached. So it gives you more flexibility to actually deal with life, because life happens. And it ain't always fun, right? But you know, I have to do this in week 1. So you had 7 days to do maybe 3, 4 things, instead of you putting all the pressure on yourself to do everything all the time, right? Hopefully that answers the question. Can I tell you more about the program? Of course. So first of all, I'm so excited about the incubator, guys. I'm so excited about the incubator. So the incubator is going to, and for those of you who don't know, she's asking about the Plan to Win incubator, and it starts August 1st, which is Monday. But I decided to take 2 programs, put them together, and add more to it, basically. Because what I saw that my clients really needed was the how. What I experienced as a multi-passionate in multiple programs that I've been in is that I didn't get clear until the end. And then I had no accountability, nobody to really ask questions of when it was time for me to really do the work. When everybody else who came in, like, they were gung-ho and clear from day 1. A lot of them actually executed while they were in the program. But I promise you, 90% of the programs that I've been in my life, I did not get clear until the end. And so I wanted to create a how that allowed you time to actually do the things while you're in it, while you're with me. So basically there are 5 phases. You have awareness, which is ABCs of clarity. You have, oh, you're quizzing me now. Awareness. I know analytics is one because your numbers are muy importante. And it's not just the analytics of your program or the things that you're doing. It's more in depth. And then you have, there are 5 A's, y'all. Actualization is the last one. Analytics, awareness. I'm missing 2. But anyway, basically, you get in, you get the ABCs to clarity. We go deep into the who, and then we get into the how. We create your plan to win, and it's custom to you because, of course, I don't feel like I'm passing, but thank you. Because as multi-passionate, like, majority of us, in my opinion, we're trailblazers. And we get so frustrated because there is not a blueprint for us to follow, and we don't realize that we're really the blueprint, and we have to create the blueprint. We're the one to blaze that trail so others can follow behind us. And so it's there for us to create your custom plan to win. And then we go through and we plan out your program, your product, or your service that you want to birth, or you've already birthed, but you want to make it more robust, and you know it can be better, right? And so then we go through there and we start to execute. We execute. We're doing, this is a working program. Okay, I'm just here to tell you. We're doing the work. So by the end of the 12 weeks, you literally would have implemented things into the stratosphere, and you'll be able to see how well it works, get feedback, get accountability, get resources, and get that support that you need to tweak it and do what you need to do to move forward, and not just be getting clear at the very end. So that's that. Hi, how are you? Hopefully I answered that question. Do you have any more specific questions about it? Oh, here we go. Let's get into the good stuff. For people who are multi-passionate, we oftentimes feel overwhelmed already. Facts. It's scary to start a new program while already overwhelmed. Is there a plan to combat that? Well, one, I can literally tell you the first thing you can do now before you start any program or anything, start to brain dump. We're so good at being able to keep things up here and still like poop excellence. And it's so much better than everyone else that as we get older and more things come into play, yes, we are overwhelmed. We can't keep it up here like we used to. That's all I'm going to tell you, okay? Brain dump. Get it all out. Journal. Because once you take everything out of the tornado that's in your brain, you can actually see things. So how I describe when I'm overwhelmed, because a lot of times my brain goes faster than I can process, right? I didn't call nobody old, okay? I just said at this stage in life. You see the gray, though. You see the gray. But, like, I see things because I'm a visual person, too. So I see things going through my head like this. And they're going so fast that I can't reach them fast enough to connect them to my last thoughts for me to finish processing or for me to put it all together in a way that's strategic enough that I feel comfortable. I always feel empowered when I have a plan. Like, it don't even have to be a completely thought out plan, but if I be like, okay, I know I got this to do, so I'm gonna do this, and this, boom, let's go. I feel more empowered. But if I don't have any kind of trajectory or clear way ahead of me, I fall apart. I'm just like, but oh my God, like, Michaela just joined. Hi. She's seen me do this a lot, okay? This is literally me. Like, I need to make it into an emoji, but brain dump. Get it out of your head, and you'll start to literally see things because things will slow down because they're actually on paper. And then journal and get all the emotions out. Like, it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else but you. It doesn't have to be spelled correctly. This is how you're going to calm that overwhelm, because the overwhelm is just because it's doing this in your head. Put it on paper first and foremost, okay? Yes. Hershey means multi-passionate. So I feel you guys, I understand, right? So yes, that is how I would, like, before you even think about starting anything, if you're overwhelmed on a regular basis, brain dump. I get up every morning and I brain dump. I was looking for my brain dump journal. The one I use, there's a link in my bio for the brain dump journal, but I use that daily. Do you meet weekly or monthly in the program? We meet weekly. So it is a blended program. So you actually get modules and you do the work. And then we will meet every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern to go through what you've been working on, flush through it, actually learn some things in the first 7 weeks. Are like you get a lesson and implementation of that lesson, and then 8 through 12, I think I'm saying that correctly, is when we're working. And so those weeks are co-working sessions, feedback, tweaking, going through the numbers, actually working the plan, getting the support, the resources, and things that you need to make it perfect, right? And so yes, we meet weekly for 12 weeks. You get me every single week for 12 weeks. Okay. That's you too? Yeah, definitely. I so can relate. So brain dump, guys. It's part of my morning routine. My morning routine technically supposed to, life happens, include brain dumping, my devotional, and then journaling. And I put it in that order because normally my devotional will confirm something that I just wrote down in my brain dump, and then I get all my feelings and emotions out in my journal, and then I feel like free to like start my day clear of head and heart. Okay, so that's my morning routine that helps me keep down my overwhelm. When I am doing all the things and I know I'm doing all the things right, or quote unquote right, but I'm still overwhelmed and stressed, that means I haven't been doing my morning routine. And once I put that back into practice, I feel good. And community. I'll send an APB or a smoke signal, a hootie hoo to some people and be like, yo, y'all, talk me off the ledge. And they do. So community is essential. Yeah, sure. So hello. So we're talking about the Plan to Win incubator that starts August 1st. And it is designed to create your custom plan to win if you are looking to birth some kind of vision or dream that you've had, that is like a product, a program, or some type of service. So if you're looking to coach, if you're looking to create your own program, that is what the Plan to Win is for. It is targeting multi-passionates and or visionaries, and those who really know that there's something more. You don't have to have something already finalized, but you pretty much need to know who you would like to help and an idea of your what, because it is definitely a working program, and we get in there and we do the work. And then it's implemented that way because I always got clear at the end of a program and then had no one to help me, support me, or ask questions after the program was over. And I was just starting to get to work. So we're going to work while we're in there so that you can get the feedback, the support, the resources, the community that you need to make that vision, that dream into a reality. Let's see. Oh, it didn't pop up. Oh, there it is. As a multi-passionate, since we have so many plans, how do we narrow it down to one instead of hopping from plan to plan? That is an amazing question. And the truth of the matter is we hop because that plan did not make money fast enough. Honestly. And I can say that with so much certainty, of course. Because as multi-passionates, let me rewind and tell you the life cycle of a multi-passionate. You ready for this? Because you helped me figure this one out. But the life cycle of a multi-passionate, we are born with a purpose. We are born with a gift that is ordainedly and cherry picked for us. And as kids, we're exploring and we're trying to figure that thing out. That's why our favorite color changes from purple to blue to green. And then we feel like it's a blink of an eye and our parents are pushing us towards the money, because normally your parents love out of fear. Fear meaning they want you to be safe. And most parents only know safety if you can provide for yourself after you're out of their house, right? And so we're pushed towards the money, and we go get that college degree, or we go get a job, and we're constantly chasing the money, and we take our eye off of exploring and trying to figure out what our actual gift is, our purpose is, what we naturally do, right? And so then all of a sudden one day we're like, you know what? I have this job. I might be in C-suite. I might not, but I have a decent paying job, or I have a great paying job. And all of a sudden, I still have this nagging feeling that there's more. I know there's more. I don't know what more is quite yet, but I know there's more. And then all of a sudden, the money isn't enough. Like, I need more. And or there's not enough money, which was me. I needed more and it wasn't enough money. I told people at work all the time, y'all don't pay me enough to put up with this nonsense, right? And so that's when we start to seek out clarity. We start to seek out what that more is, right? And we get into it and we start to like get a taste of it. I think this is it. And this is how we get our multiple hustles or our multiple hobbies, right? Because we are very good at doing a lot of things. And there's a lot of things that we love to do at the same time. And so we're like, hey, why don't we do something so we can make money doing something that we love? And then we get into it because we want to leave this job because it ain't enough money, and or money's not enough, right? Definitely feeling underutilized. I used to always say my brain was turning to mush because I wasn't using my degree because that's a whole nother story, right? So we're trying to make our passions pop so they can rescue us from whatever, right? And they don't pop fast enough. They don't make enough money so that we can leave whatever, or we can have the freedom to be with our kids, or the freedom to travel, or less stress, or it doesn't give us joy. And so we're looking for that thing that's going to give us joy and provide for us and pay our bills and allow us to live the lifestyle that we want to live. And so as multi-passionates, we normally hop from one plan or hustle to the next because the first one didn't pop fast enough for us. It didn't rescue us fast enough. And so the only thing I can tell you with that is you need to know your common thread. Your common thread is the thing that ties all of your passions together into one pretty bow. And then you can see the synergies among all of your passions and all of your skill sets. So then you can do that natural thing that you were born to do. And that's when you marry your purpose and prosperity, and you actually prosper in purpose, is when you find that common thread. And once you do that, you won't hop from plan to plan to plan as much, because honestly, money makes the world go round. So you'll take your eye off the prize and be like, I gotta eat, baby, gotta eat, in my outcast voice. But nobody wants to buy your desperation. And we get desperate when we start to focus on the money and we want it fast enough. And it's not coming fast enough. And that energy that you put out is desperation. And no one wants to buy. People buy your results. They don't even buy you. They don't buy your products. They buy the results of that thing. And so once you are clear on what you naturally do, you can fulfill the promise of what you're selling. And people will buy that results because you'll have the results. And I mean, it's hard from day to day to not veer over there and start looking for the money. You have to focus on your why. Which is one of the things that we'll talk about in the master class or the webinar that's at 7. So you guys can join us if you haven't registered yet. Link is in my bio too. It's free. Free webinar, the top 5 ways to master entrepreneurship as a multi-passionate. But we really talk about the difference between the effects and the effects, which is what's going to help you stick to your why. Does the program work with us as a group or individually? It is a group. And the reason why it is a group is because community, which is what I call a group, gives you continuous clarity. You and I can work together and we're going to flush out some things. You're going to get clear. I promise you that. But when we're in a group, you're getting different perspectives. You're getting resources and support. Because if we plan out your when, what I need, who I need, and why I need it, that group might have your who or your what. And it's a blink of an eye for you to get what you need to make your dream come true. Do I have a very robust network and resource? Yes, definitely. And I am more than willing to share my network and my resources with you. But people of like mind and like heart, that just multiplies how fast you can get what you need. And my goal is for your dreams to come true. I want your dream to become a reality so you can stop dreaming about this life you want and actually live it. And that's why I'm a huge component for group coaching. Huge component. So yes, we do things in a group. Let's see here. What do you recommend for people working on the what? I need more to that. I need more. What do you mean? What do I recommend for you working on the what? How to get clear in the what or how to execute the what? Give me a little bit more explanation. Yes, community is definitely where it's at. Because when you're doing it by yourself, you're leaning on your own understanding. And for my believers out there, that is one of the things the Bible tells us not to do. Lean not on your own understanding. Because it's like, I'm just saying, I only know so much. Now, granted, I think I'm the female version of Bob Vila. But building a house by myself is not going to be the business. It's probably going to be cricket. It might look like a house. But when the wind blows, it's probably going to fall down, especially if I'm doing it by myself. But in community, at least somebody can hold a plank while I screw it in. Like, you really get what you need, right? While you're working on the what, how do you get clear on your common thread? So we're going to go over that in the webinar at 7 o'clock too. So basically, my suggestion is to always do a sunshine. And I think we've talked about this before, but basically a sunshine is a circle with you in the middle, and you draw lines out and you just write out everything you've ever loved to do, everything you didn't like to do, your pet peeves, your favorite color, your favorite music, your favorite foods, any and everything that comes to mind, every job you've had. And you draw lines and you write all these things out. And then when you've exhausted everything and put it all on this paper, walk away, come back to it, and see if you can start to highlight things that have things in common. So I always say either have a different color pens or a different color highlighters. So everything that looks like fun to you, highlight it in yellow, right? Everything that's like stuff you hate, you can't stand, whether it's food, movies, I don't know, farts, highlighted in red, right? And this helps you start to chunk things and find commonalities, and then you can whittle it down, and eventually you'll start to see one thing that shows up in different areas. It may be what people always ask you about. It may be, so for me, I'm the go-to person for almost anything. I always said, if I could figure out the professional way to say I'm the plug, I would. Because people call me and be like, yo, do you know somebody who does X? So when I said earlier, my network is extremely robust, it is. And I don't keep leeches around. That's the best way to put it. Everything has to be mutually beneficial. Yes, I'm a Capricorn. Yes, I'm very strategic. So a lot of times it doesn't sound warm and fuzzy. But when I say mutually beneficial, I mean help me, help you, help us. I'm saying, y'all see my mug. Help me, help you, help us. So I don't want it to just be one-sided. People don't like networking because people go and it's well, how can you help me do this? Oh, you can't help me? Peace, right? And no, is there anything else that I can help? How can I help you? And if I can't help you, do I know anybody that can? And if I can, I'm going to tell them. it's not always about take. And so that is the answer to that one. Thank you, Bree. I actually love helping people find their common thread because, in all honesty, it takes normally somebody else to help you because you're always so close. Like, it's this close to your face that you really can't see it. Like, it's out of focus. And you have to pull back so you can see it. And it normally takes somebody else pulling you back, and or they're already standing back here and they can see you. Right? I don't know if you guys have ever heard the analogy where it's like other people actually see you. You're not looking at yourself 24/7 unless you're looking at yourself in the mirror. And how often do we literally just stand in the mirror and look at ourselves? Unless it's like doing our hair, makeup before we walk out the door. But no, literally standing in the mirror. Like, I stand in the mirror and I talk to myself. Talk to myself. Y'all see I like to bust out in song too, but especially on those days where the whispers of doubt get really loud, I get in the mirror and I be like, Jateya, get it together. I talk to myself. Look myself in the eyes and talk to myself. A lot of times you'll see some things you don't like, but then you work on it. And eventually you get to where you need to be. So you can start to see a lot of common threads. But it does take some people actually who've already been looking at you to step back and point out what they see from a distance because you're so close to it. Any other questions? Hi to those of you who just joined. We've covered a lot. We've covered a bunch of questions about a bunch of different things. We've covered the Plan to Win incubator that starts on Monday. We're doing the top 5 ways to master entrepreneurship as a multi-passionate at 7 o'clock for the webinar. And make sure I'm not talking too much because y'all know I'll be on here for a really long time. We've talked about the actual Plan to Win method and the Plan to Win planner. Why I don't timestamp things. I'm trying to think of a summary. So yeah, we've covered a lot. How to find your common thread. Yes, I hope Issa Rae made it comfortable for everybody to talk to themselves. And I think that's why I connected with her so much. Because I was rocking with her when she was Awkward Black Girl on YouTube. Like, I was so sad when that ended. And then she brought us Insecure. And talking to yourself in the mirror is a real thing, you guys. Like, look at yourself deep in the eye. You'll get some things together real quick. Or like somebody said earlier, you get sick of yourself. You get sick of yourself. And you'll be like, you know what, self? You in the way. So I'm going to need you to move on out the way so we can make some stuff pop. Right? Because most of us, we know. If you haven't listened to this episode on the podcast, go check it out. But it's titled, It's Not the Dream That Scares You. We know, like, in our heart of hearts, that we are capable, more than capable, of making stuff pop. Like I said earlier, majority of us, we poop excellence. And if we actually gave ourselves the time, the capacity, the space, the resources, and invested in ourselves, we could poop gold. Literally bars of gold, like unicorns out here, right? With no effort. And the reason why I say poop is because you do it with no effort, right? So it's like we actually poop excellence with no effort. Imagine if you actually invested in you and put time in you, you could poop bars of gold with no effort. You literally have the capability to change the world. You. And to do it with the same amount of effort as you do with, you know, sipping a cup of coffee or some tea or eating ice cream, things that you enjoy, okay? Which is why I started with coffee, because that is what's in my cup tonight. But you can do it with that level of ease. It's the fear in us of the unknown that stops us from even trying. And it's not the dream that scares you. It's you. You are scared of you. You are scared of what in the world will life look like if I actually reach my fullest potential. Because you know you're powerful. You know you're like, the tips of your fingers are powerful. The tip of your tongue is powerful when you're not even putting in any effort. And you are scared of yourself, but you're mainly scared that you're going to disappoint others because they will know. You'll disappoint your team or your clients. Because you can disappoint yourself in the dark and no one knows, which is why majority of us DIY in the dark. I know my ideal client has been DIYing in the dark for 2 years before they come to me. On average, it's 2 years. You are DIYing. You soaking up everything that I'm putting out here in this atmosphere for free. And then you go back and you do it in hiding because no one will know if you fail. No one will know if you quit on yourself. No one will know if you quit on your dream because you haven't even shared your dream. No one will know. So you DIY in the dark. And it gets you nowhere. When I first stopped DIYing in the dark, I started posting on Instagram my goals for the month. So I started off with like quarterly bucket list. And then I started off with then I went to like yearly bucket list, and I was like, this ain't working. So then I went back to my quarterly bucket list. And every month I would post a post on Instagram of what I was to do that month. And I put my dreams out there. I put myself out there because I knew people were going to hold me accountable, which is why I love group coaching, accountability. People would bring me my resources. When I said I wanted to start my nonprofit and have a teen summit, the people that came out and showed up for me for the free ski because I didn't have the money, they helped me make my dreams come true. When you are very sure in your why, kind of sort of sure in your how, but we know where we poop excellence without even trying. So when you're sure of your why and you can articulate that, and people will buy into that because they believe in your why and they believe in you, because again, they've been watching you from a distance, so they see and they know that you're the truth even when you're doubting yourself. So when I stopped DIYing in the dark, I started posting what my dreams were. I started posting what I wanted to do, what my plans were, and I was held accountable. And then I started Mocha Mondays, and I said, y'all, I'm going to show up every Monday and give you a tip of the week to hold myself accountable to you. Because I needed to prove to me that I could trust me again. I had started doubting myself, especially being at a job that didn't appreciate you, didn't use you to your value. When you knew in your head, you was like, but I know I'm the truth. And then they go do backward stuff because you were in a toxic environment and you trying to make sense out of toxicity. It doesn't work. And so it caused me to doubt myself and doubt my gut. And so me doing that forced me to trust me again. Because I kept saying, I knew I shouldn't. I knew I should have. But I kept listening to the powers that be, right? Because they're supposed to know better. And instead of keep running into that wall, I know I shouldn't have, I know I should have, I said, no, let me start listening to me again. Let's try it. What's going to happen if it don't work? But let's at least try. So you got to stop DIYing in the dark. I'm going to let y'all have fun over there for 2 good years. So, Candace, you talking about coming to play? Come on and play, okay? Because it's time out, because you got some amazing ideas. And I've been watching over here waiting. I'm just saying. Just throwing it out there. Okay. But yeah. Yeah. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Stop DIYing in the dark. Show up for you. So you can learn to trust you again. What happens if it works? What happens if it works? You know, you quit your job and you start working for yourself full time, and you help people get clear. You help multi-passionates understand that there is a superpower in them and that it's more than just being okay with being multi-passionate, since that's what most people out here in the streets are telling us. But the fact that there is a rhyme and reason that you can have some structure to execute your goals and your dreams sooner, quicker, faster, and catapult you to living the life of your dreams. That's what happens when it works. And you get to do what you love. And you get to meet some amazing people that get to do what they love. And we begin this ripple effect. And my goal is that we change the world and make it for the better. So if I can help you do what you do the way that you do it so you can go help somebody else do that too, I'm here for that, okay? That is my goal. My goal is to revolutionize the way multi-passionates approach entrepreneurship. And to let you know that it's more than just being okay, but there is a rhyme and reason. And that it literally is your superpower. And you can do all the things until all the things get in the way of purpose. But you are put on this earth to change the world. That's what multi-passionates are here to do. We do things in non-traditional ways, and a lot of times in traditional industries. But most of the time, we're the blueprint, and we got to create it, which is a gift and a curse. It can be very frustrating. But we see things holistically. And a lot of times the solution to certain problems holistically don't exist. People are just patching it. They're focusing on this part of the problem and this part of the problem. But they're not collectively coming together to solve the problem, which is how our brain works. So if you're multi-passionate, you ready to change the world, have some fun, meet some amazing people, get support, resources, accountability, and community, come holler at us. Come play with us. And if you still ready to DIY in the dark, it's okay. No judgment over here. You can join us in the Clarity community. It's free on Facebook. There's a bunch of us over there. I come do Clarity Conversations, which is something very similar to this. Once a month, you can ask your questions. Okay? But it's more of us out here. And we're about that life. We're about making our dreams come true and living the life of our dreams and not just dreaming about it. So we're ready to help you too. So if you want to join us in the incubator, we start on Monday. Y'all know August is on Monday. Have y'all realized that? Every time I say that, I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, we start on Monday. 12 weeks. I'm super excited. Like, I am super excited about this program. I really, really am. And I'm super excited to see what dreams will be birthed into reality at the end of 12 weeks. That means by the end of the year, before the end of the year, life could be so much different. So much different. And there's a couple of bonuses in there that I'm excited about too. So yeah. So that's it. Any other questions? Yeah, so y'all know I sing when I'm tired, when I'm delirious, or I need coffee, which is why I made coffee before this call. So you're going to get a lot of random songs from me. And some made up too. But if no other questions, this has been so much fun. Come and play with us. The webinar is free. Like I said, we start at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so in a little bit. The link to register to the webinar is in my bio. So come and play with us over there, and we'll be talking about the top 5 ways to master entrepreneurship as a multi-passionate. Thank you. Thank you guys for playing with me this evening. And I hope to see y'all over there. Or at least, follow my DMs. Talk to me. Come play with me. Even more so, I hope to see you in the incubator. Because it's about to be fire. I'm so excited. Anyway, y'all have a good one. I'll talk to y'all soon.